Sometimes they play a lot of 1-2-2.
Boney Lyles makes the basket.
Okay, you can see that three. They've got in the gap, and they're going to come out in a 3-2 as well right here. Hudson does not look to be a very big team. This is their... And Max Chartrand answers with a three-pointer of his own. Into the starting lineup tonight for the first time this year is Liam O'Connell. Nolan Anderson with the block shot. Nick Mocha's pushing the ball up the court. And Hudson looks like they're ready to settle into...
Looks like they're playing a 3-2.
Little turnover down low right there. In the first game, you could see, John, that the very poorly played first half because that Christmas break, really the teams were not in sync. And so far, it looks like Bedford doesn't really have any rhythm to their game. It is early.
Yeah, they haven't had a practice in a while either.
Yeah, which makes it tough. That's my point. Looks like Nick Mocha's pushing it to Liam O'Connell. Make one more pass down low. Skip pass, great skip pass right there. Offensive glass.
Back to Liam. Back to Nick.
This is the difference from last year's team is that we've already seen seven passes on this possession. Last year, there was one pass and it was a launch.
Yeah, they play a more team concept than last year's team.
This quick ball movement, you're going to get shots. They're not really looking to get the ball down low. A little pull-up shot right there.
Forward by Liam, play to Brian, up and in.
And Brian Cameron would work on the offensive glass, knocks down the two to put Bedford up 5-3. But that's the best ball movement I've seen them make all year. One of the things that we're going to need is Max has been knocking down threes this year, and I like to see Nick have confidence and look to take that shot because he's the other three-point shooter that they have on this team.
Right, the more they can make from the outside, the more it opens up for the big guys inside. We got plenty of that, like right here. Nolan puts it up and puts it up again for the basket. Bedford leads 7-3.
So timeout for, and that's something that we didn't see in the first game, but Bedford coming out with some high energy right there. Every trip down so far, they've hit the offensive glass and able to get 2 and 3 chances.
Yep. Yeah, they're playing well.
And defensively, we haven't really seen teams have any three-point shooters, but this Hudson team looks like they don't have much size, but they do look like they have guys. We saw the first three-pointer. Are you familiar with these guys? With Max Boney Lyles knocked down that three.
Right.
And it looked like Ryan Weston could be a potential good three-point shooter. So Bedford is going to have to look for that. Look like were they playing a 2-3 or a 1-2-2?
Looked like it was a 2-3.
Yeah, because surprisingly, because they've had a lot of success this season playing the 1-2-2.
Yep, exactly.
The other thing that Coach Dorman likes to do a lot is he goes to the 2-2-1 full court press, which is they're going to let the ball inbound. They're not really going to challenge the ball from getting inbounded right here, but they're going to look to trap after the first pass. That's the spot here.
Right there, there's the trap. Liam steals it.
You got to look up right there, Liam. That's all right. That happens. Good trap. Doesn't look like Hudson has a pure point guard that's going to be able to break this press. This is something that you might see Bedford do more of today. But there's the 1-2-2 that seems to me is Bedford's best defense, especially with you got Nick Mocha with some length at the point, and you got Cameron and Anderson down low with some good length.
Right. And Max and Liam on the wings.
Yeah. Possession underneath. Bedford will go to a 2-3 traditionally on the inbounds underneath. Now they're back. They got to make sure they identify the shooter, Boney Lyles.
Middle, wing.
This Hudson team seems like a very well-coached team because we've seen teams all year not really. Against a 1-2-2, you got to get the ball to the middle on the foul line.
Yep.
And these seem like they're well-coached, and that's where they're attacking this thing. Here's the Iowa set that they like to run. They pop Brian Cameron from the foul line. He looks to press to the corner for Mokas. If they move it quick enough, they might be able to get him that three.
Got to move it quicker.
There's the, yep, nice draw and dish. Pull-up's going to come up. Yep, 9-3. After a three-pointer by Hudson to put Hudson up 3-0. Bedford's now on a 9-0 run. That's a tough shot right there.
Oh.
Long rebound, grabbed by Mokas, pushing the ball. Nick has done a great job running the point. Not a natural point guard, but he has stepped up to handle the ball. Max not shy to shoot it when he's open. Possible trap right there. Great job challenging the shot. Look, if you look up, Max, you'll get it back. Yeah, that's one of those things. You got the bigs running the floor. You got to look up and get him the ball. That's going to come up short.
Yep. Good rebound by Brian. Nice pass. Nice in.
That's a great little look down low to Nolan Anderson right there. Brian Cameron with the offensive glass dumps it down to Nolan. And Nolan, that's one of the things he does well. He takes the ball to the hoop. And he knocks down free throws, too. It should be 11-3. That's an 11-0 run right now.
Yep.
That's one of the things that Bedford through the years is they're a very quick starting team when they're at home.
And usually don't let the other team back into it either.
Yeah, in the second game in middle school basketball, Mondays the girls play first, the boys play second. And on Thursdays it's reversed. And when they're at home, they seem to have a lot of Monday games where they haven't had a lot of student support. But they're still playing. They came out with some good energy in this game. Here it is, the 2-2-1 full court press into the game is Kami, number 34, and Steven Simpson, number 13. That's a good
steal. Nice pass by Brian.
Steven Simpson handles the ball right there. 12-3, just over 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Hudson is in a 2-3 zone right now. There's the movement, skip pass maybe. You got to kick that ball out. Steven Simpson, good quick movement. Max is really their only three-point shooter on the court right now. They're moving the ball very well. Steven Simpson with that flat, ugly-looking three, but it goes down for a 15-0 run right now. You can't call enough timeouts during this.
That's Steven's shot. Same shot he's been taking since he was about 6 years old.
Bedford settling back. Brian Cameron just a little bit late on the steal, but cuts the player off the angle. Steven Simpson, a lot of length at the top of that zone. That's a tough runner right there. Kami with the boards, and they're running. Kick that out. Wow. This looks like a well-oiled machine, John.
Very nice play. Nice shot by Kami. 17-0 run.
Yeah, we're just going to call him Kami.
Yeah, his last name's hard to pronounce.
Hey, look up, look up, look up. You got the steal, you got to look and run.
Kami with the steal.
Quick passing, Simpson,
underneath the
Coleman. The dish and the kick. There it is. That's, oh.
Max been a little off tonight.
Yeah, he's a little bit off, but we've seen that. He's got the confidence where we saw him at that Massachusetts tournament where he was 0 for the house in the first half, and he just kept shooting. Then he lit it up in the second half to bring them back. Hudson really doesn't have an answer for this 3-2. They really don't.
There's a steal.
Get that steal, and you got to look up. You got to look up.
3-on-2.
You got to give that ball up.
Got to dish it.
You got to give that up. When you got 3-on-2, if you want to get the ball back, you got guys open like that, you might give it up and get it back. Coleman doing a good job challenging. Cameron with the rebound, and let's look to run a little bit. Quick passes. Simpson for the
cross the body. 3.
I guess that's one of those things. Do you change it?
It's worked, like I said earlier. It's worked since
I don't know how it can work consistently. It's just flat and across his body, but he's knocked down 2. So way to go, Steven. 20-0 run. Another steal. No, give it up to him. Give it up to him.
Come on, Max.
Oh, you got to give that quicker. You got to give that quicker. Good steal, good finish. 22-3. Due to time constraints. 5 seconds to go in the half. Boney to started the game with a 3, and he started the game and he ends the quarter with a 3.
Good 3-point shooter.
Coach Dorman is getting on Simpson but I think you would probably give up a 25-footer all game if that's what they're going to rely on.
That was way beyond the arc.
So Chris Cameron here with John Mokas. We have Bedford. Bedford and Hudson have met in 2 of the last 3 Tri-County Division I championships, 2010 and 2012. So these are the 2 of the top teams. From what I see right now, Hudson doesn't look like it's one of their stronger teams. Have you seen Hudson in the youth through the years?
Through the years, they've been strong. Not the strongest team out there, but one of the strongest teams. But you're right, this team doesn't seem as strong as they've been in the past.
The few things that I saw is that Bedford was getting second chance shots. And that was their size is just they're kind of wearing Hudson out early, and then they started for some reason they started in the 2-3, and once they made that adjustment to the 1-2-2, Hudson had no answer at all.
Shut them out right. They hit the first basket and the last basket, like I said earlier.
This is one of those games where sometimes I've seen this with Bedford is Coach Dorman will go to his bench early and they kind of get out of a rhythm. So let's see what he does. I do like to see him get guys some playing time, but that's what I think this whole second half could be if they put it on him right here. Hudson in a 2-3 right now.
And he's got plenty of guys on the bench.
He does. There's 20. There's 8,
15,
11.
Dressed.
Yeah, 15 dressed for this game.
Yep.
If they run out of bodies, there's more in the stands
right,
with their practice squad.
Working around the perimeter. Oh.
Seem a little bit out of sync here to start this. Oh. Let's skip passes. You got to be. That's well. He caught that ball up above his head and didn't bring it down. A lot of time you see with the big guys, they bring it down. He's been well coached.
Yep. Very efficient in the middle.
Here we go. The 1-2-2, also the 3-2. Simpson kind of.
Yeah, he's a little too far out.
Yeah, he needs to stay on the wing a little bit more.
Oh, there's a
steal. Nolan take the foul.
Oh.
Yeah. So inbound Bedford. You might see this ball go back to Max in the corner. They run this play. Stevens got to get it to him a little bit quicker.
Ooh, offensive.
Yeah, they call an offensive foul on number 50, Nolan Anderson.
He's seen 2 points so far this quarter.
Yeah, they had a rhythm going, and they just don't seem to come out a little bit flat.
Making him work it from way out front.
Bedford just has a lot of size and a lot of length. No matter what they're doing, if they're shading towards number 24. Max Boney Lyles, number 12 right there, a little Rick Nolan. Take it right to the glass. He does good at this, getting fouled, and one. That's his game, slashing. He's very good in the open court. 26-6 with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the opening half.
And that's Bedford game too. Get the rebound and run. That's what they like to do. Get easy baskets. Makes it a lot easier to win.
That's when they're at their best, yes.
Yep. Rebound by Kami, and they're off and running again.
Steven Simpson with his head up. There's Nolan from 3. Nowhere to go really with Kami there. Josh Colmer. See, so far this season they've been going with Kami and Colmer kind of alternating with each other at the fast spot. Right now he's going with the 2 bigs down there. Connor Robert checking in for the first time. Connor's kind of a swing player, like a 2-3.
Hudson can't seem to get into any rhythm at all. Everything's way outside.
They just don't even have it.
It's the 3rd shot that guy's taking.
They just don't have an answer for this zone offense at all. Nolan from 3. You don't see him take too many, and maybe that's why you don't see him take too many threes.
Got the rebound though, and here we go again. Max gets it up. Oh, turns it down. Tries it, makes it.
That's a runner right there. That's not an easy shot to make. But he really wasn't challenged too much. So 28-6. This game has already gotten away from Hudson. Hudson likes to shoot the three.
But not make it.
No, Colmer gets the board. Hudson does a good job getting back for the most part. Robert not shy to shoot, and that's a little bit long with an air ball. He's got to set his feet a little bit more. Good hustle there by number 5, Connor Lambert. Look. Connor Robert again from 3. You got a ball fake when you're feeding. You can't look at where you're feeding down there.
And you got to put something behind it.
Yeah, he just get
your body into the pass.
Fake a pass, make a pass.
Right.
Bedford's really extending this. It's almost like a Syracuse flex because there's nothing inside. Hudson has nothing down low where they're challenging everything.
Backs with the steal and the bucket. 30-6.
30-6. Checking in. The next dead ball will be Nick Mokas. And Max was late getting down to the block on that rotation right there.
First 2-point basket that Hudson's made tonight.
Yeah. Took over 11 minutes. Connor Robert. They can't hold this ball against the zone. They got to move it really quick.
Exactly.
Actually, now it's for the first time today. It looks like Hudson's in a man-to-man. And you can't throw that skip pass right there.
Kami.
Double dribble. Here comes Mokas checking in for Max. Hudson showing, I guess they needed to change something up when you're giving up 30 points here in a quarter and a half.
Right.
It wasn't so much their half-court defense, it was their transition defense that wasn't very good.
Bedford got the rebounds and ran with the ball. Oh, cross court.
That's 2 fouls on Nolan Anderson, and knowing Coach Dorman, he's probably done for the half. He doesn't like to play guys with 2 fouls. But when you're up 22 points,
you might let him in a little longer
because he's probably not going to be seeing much time in the second half anyway.
There's a steal.
That's a lot of turnovers here by Hudson. They're not giving themselves a chance. Mokas feeds the block to Colmer. Very nice. That's kind of the secondary slow break. Have the big guys run to the block. If you want the big guys to keep running, you got to get them the ball.
You don't feed them, they won't run. Another air ball.
Oh, boy.
And they're off and running again.
That was Ryan Rugeruk. Checking into the Nick Mokas with a runner. Colmer on the glass, doesn't get the call.
Gets knocked down.
Step out of bounds. Checking in will be Liam O'Connell and Brian Cameron for Colmer and Anderson. "30-second timeout for Coach Alex Sobolov and his 3-and-3 Hudson. So, John, what do you think so far of what you've seen in the landscape of the Tri-County? You have Hudson is usually a traditional powerhouse. It doesn't seem like they're in Bedford's class. We saw Merrimack early, and I didn't get a chance to see Londonderry.
Londonderry, I thought would be stronger than they are. We beat them down there, but they're pretty strong. Merrimack, us, and Londonderry are probably the 3 top teams. Am I missing anybody?
No, I've seen the other games. I've seen Salem, I've seen Timberlane, and none of those teams are in the class of Bedford. So I think it's going to come down to Merrimack, Londonderry, Bedford. And I would assume that that will be the 1 seed going into the playoffs, with the championships being held February 8th, I believe, which is fast approaching.
Early, right.
High school seasons are just kind of getting going at that point. And well, these guys started a month earlier.
Right, that's true. That's true. Back in the 1-2-2.
Yeah, you got Mokas up top, Cameron and Kami down low, and there's a reach. Yep, no reason to reach on that. 3-3. 33, Connor Robert picking up the foul. Coach Dorman, there's no reason to really reach up top like that. Bedford drops into a 2-3.
Yep.
Liam goes for the steal, just misses it. Back door. Cameron with the help, look to push. Maybe spot Liam O'Connell for an open 3. Liam was shooting before he caught the ball.
Exactly. He was ready to go up with it from the three-point line because he was wide open. 32-8 with 1:43 to go in the second period.
Quickly played game. There's not as many turnovers and fouls. The first game we had the girls. Hudson was a 5-1 team versus the Bedford teams. That's going to come up short right there. Liam's got to catch that and get it to Mokus and maybe get it back. Yeah, you got to get in transition. That's something that, John, I really think that these guys could work on is their transition offense.
I agree. We could get a lot more easier baskets on the fast break. It doesn't seem like we fill the lanes right.
Yeah, they don't run the lanes right.
It's almost too crowded in the middle. Nice move.
Brian Cameron with the inside-out shake and hits the kind of half jump shot off the board.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
He shot that one before he even turned
That was
his body.
kind of a jump hook right there by number 13, Ben Cabral. That's a nice touch right there. Maybe he's someone that could get some offense going for them. Connor Robert there. Nick Mokus maybe. I'd like to see a little pick and roll or something off this offense. They don't really. Their man offense needs some work because we saw that in the Christmas tournament where that's a great move by Kami right there. He's got some good hands down low. I like what I'm seeing from his development. Has been impressive this year.
But you're right, we do need more movement on the offense. It's even getting it into the big men underneath. It's not like they were in a position to shoot it. It's almost like just giving it to them for the sake of giving it to them. As opposed to wait until they get in position to shoot
I agree, and that's something that Connor Robert needs to settle down with that ball right there. But I agree, back to the half-court offense, is when we saw some teams that matched us physically, athletically, our offensive sets just weren't, didn't create easy shots for us.
You're absolutely right. And it's a big runner. Tipped by Conley, almost made it.
You know what? I'm not going to give Brian that hard of a time. I was like, what kind of shot was that? But I didn't realize. I always tell my players no time in scoring. I was busy talking with John that we didn't realize that the clock was was short time right there. So at the half, Bedford 36, Hudson 13 in a quickly played first half. We might even have time. No. So we're gonna due to the heavy schedule of our cameraman Mike Currier of CastleHill Media, we're going to head over and do the Bedford girls varsity, the defending Division I champions against Central, kind of right through that wall over there. But John and I are going to be back with coverage of of future games. We have Merrimack coming up down the road at Merrimack, which is a great rivalry, and then it's going to be a playoff run and we talked about some things they need to work on is they have to keep pushing themselves. But what do you see as the key for their?
Yeah, well, if there was a team out there that had an offensive threat against our I'm not sure how good our defense is, but it never gets challenged because the trap works so well that we're always getting breaks. But if somebody had some size and could work it underneath against us, they may be able to give us some trouble. Be interesting to see what happens down the road.
But I'm looking forward to the final month of the season.
Same here.
Okay.